It's lights out and away we go!
What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the GT UK F1 podcast. I am joined by my co-hosts, David.
Hey, hey.
And Alan.
Hello.
So, it was Canada. Well, technically AWS Grand Prix du Canada 2024, apparently. But just before we obviously get into things, don't forget you can get your podcasts on Spotify, Amazon, through the website, through the RSS.com website itself. Unfortunately, not on Apple at this present time.
Yet.
Unless people want to start contributing towards the fee. But us being able to put it out on the Apple platform, unfortunately, that's quite expensive. On another side note, none of us caught FP1, FP2, or FP3, so we are literally going to be jumping into qualifying and the race for this episode. I do apologise, but due
Life
to
got in the way for us.
Timings, but as Alan said to us before, don't really think much went on in the practice sessions due to the weather conditions.
Yeah, Canada was being typical Canada, wasn't it? So I think there was a lot of interference, a lot
A lot of rain.
Because
Yep.
they had resurfaced the
The
track,
whole
hadn't they?
circuit, and the whole,
Yeah.
whole track, and also new curbs and
And it was... I like Canada, but it's weird how it's man-made. I know that sounds kind of weird.
it is a great circuit. It's one of
yeah.
my favourites.
Because the entire circuit is actually man-made.
You can never predict Canada.
That's it, the weather seems to be able to turn on such a short.
Yeah.
I'm kind of not surprised it's stuck in the middle of the water.
And then obviously you have Gary.
The groundhog. He made an appearance again.
He made a few appearances again.
Oh dear.
Not enough to cause problems, but yeah.
I think I saw a clip. I did actually quickly see a clip of him sat at the side of the racetrack with the
Was it
F1
when they were
cars.
doing the walk round? I saw the
No,
clip when they were doing the walk round and like they were trying to dare Albon to put his hand in the hole.
No. They would.
No, it was actually during the race. He was actually on track.
Was it the race or
God.
was it practice?
No, it was actually during the race. He was actually on track.
Oh, I thought he was sat at the side.
Be flat, Gary, if he's not careful.
He was off the racing line, luckily enough. But yeah,
So, Q1.
it was a shock.
What, do you mean you were that surprised that Sargent was out at the beginning?
Sargent wasn't out.
I know he
Q1,
meant
though.
Q2, didn't he? I've got the wrong list up.
Sergeant
Yeah,
Q2.
he made Q2.
Yeah.
It was
Sorry, Scott, that
Perez.
joke. We'll start again. It's the
Yeah.
second race in a row, isn't it? Now, Monaco, you kind of had more of a... But Perez, he's just... he's got the contract extension, but still, yeah, he needs to re-find his form again.
Yeah.
Apparently there was no grip.
But the weird thing is, everybody, I believe, had been suffering throughout
You would think normally it would affect them all, wouldn't you? You would think.
Yeah. I kind of think Red Bull have done something to their car and,
Well, we know they went with a very different sort of design this year, and it appears to be not as reliable as
kind of biting
No, it was
them.
great.
the old one.
It was great to start off with. It still has that speed, but something's not quite right.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of that's come down since Newey said he was leaving.
I'm not reading into that too much because I just think perhaps it could be upgrades. If they've
Yeah,
brought
it
any
could- it-
upgrades, they
It could be, but obviously, my own opinion is since Nui said he's leaving, the car's just not performing where it should do. Which,
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
which in some respect, is bad for Red Bull, but it's great for viewers because you're not seeing a dominant Red Bull every single week.
Yeah, he's not wrong.
Hmm.
I mean, we're saying the last 4 races, we've had like 4 different winners, haven't we? Or three in the last 4, certainly.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, like I say, it was not kind of not shocked to see Alpine down in the bottom of Q1.
Fresh on the news that Ocon will not be back with them.
yeah, and obviously, Ocon had the 3-place grid penalty. Was it 3-place or 5-place grid
3
penalty?
plays for Monaco from the collision with
Yeah.
Gasly.
Which didn't actually affect him overall because obviously with that he was
He
still
qualified on
being-
2 air. And also the two
Saubers.
Saubers going into send start from the pit also sort of helped him out on that.
Yeah, so he still started in the same place.
See, you know, I don't know what Russell had done to that Merc from Q1, but it was like,
Oh, he wasn't that far off the quickest lap on Q1. I mean, Max had quickest lap, I think it was at
no,
1:12.36.
yeah,
Q1, well, the thing is, the track seemed to get quicker and quicker as time went on.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think it's once again, I think the lack of dry running and the fact that it's new surface meant that it was sort of rubbering in as they went along.
yeah. I mean, then obviously I mean,
And Norris in obviously Q1 was it was basically the two McLaren. The McLarens were quick again.
McLaren have seriously got that package sorted out now. I think
I
they
mean,
are a serious threat this year.
fair play to Danny Ricciardo. I mean, getting up, getting
Yeah.
sort of outperforming Yuki for once in qualifying.
As Alan said earlier, Jacques Villeneuve's words rattling in his ears, maybe.
Yeah, but I bet he's still
Ye-
pissed
ye-
about it.
oh, most probably is, but we all know Danny. He won't publicly admit it.
Oh, he won't publicly admit it, no.
And it does sound harsh what Jack did to say, he's been there so long, playing about the car and the team's sitting there saying, yeah, we need to build a car. But he's been in the sport long enough to know what to expect.
Oh, yeah.
Has he got to that point now where he's reached his peak?
The problem is, though, why did Jacques Villeneuve single out Danny Ricciardo?
He was
Perez is
probably asked about someone like Danny Rick. I mean, I only saw the aftermath. I didn't see the actual context of the interview.
Perez
Same.
has been in the sport as well long enough.
Oh, yeah, a lot of tip drivers have. But
Yeah.
But why just single him out? That's the thing. That's why I don't
I think
understand that.
the question must have been aimed that way. I
Yeah.
honestly believe.
yeah,
If he's been asked, what do you think of Danny Rick's performance? He's not going to say, well, Sergio Perez is doing poorly.
But Perez is.
If you know what I mean.
it could obviously be down to the fact that obviously Danny doesn't have a seat next year at the moment.
Not a lot of them have a seat at the moment.
Obviously, you got that seat, which was announced at the weekend that Yuki's staying on with RB.
Yeah.
So the question could have been built around that. Will we see Danny in RB or in another team?
Well,
Or out in F1.
the problem is he's not going to be going to another team unless somebody stumps up the cash to Red Bull for him. Because remember, he's only been put in that team to give him track time. Because he's technically still Red Bull's reserve.
But I don't think Red Bull are rushing themselves to get him back in the car.
No, but that's what I mean. The thing is, that's why they've put him in the sister team. Because they just want to give him the track time. But he, like I say, he's still down as under contract as their reserve driver, even though he's driving for the sister team. So if he doesn't get...
that's happened before. That's not an unusual thing. I mean, look how Gio was an Alpha driver and was Ferrari's reserve. So
he still is a reserve.
Yeah, but he's not a Sauber driver anymore.
No, but he's still a reserve. Weirdly enough. But if Danny doesn't get a seat, if he doesn't keep the seat, he'll just fall back into the reserve role again.
Yeah. Which, as much as I like Danny Rick, he's a great character. I think somebody like Liam Lawson.
That's it. Red Bull have plenty of good drivers in reserve.
Yeah.
And we need some of these young lads to start coming through, or else we're going to have a problem on our hands.
Yeah, but only...
I think Yukin and Liam would make a good pairing.
But will we see Jack Doohan take over the Alpine?
Possible, yeah.
I mean, Ferrari are shit out of luck for next year because obviously they've got Hamilton and Leclerc.
Well, you mean Behrman's shit out of luck unless he can land like a Haas or...
Well, that's what I mean. Well, he can't go to Audi, so he can't go to Sauber, so... And it's... The interesting part is, for me, the one that I'm most interested in terms of contract, and I know we've gone well off on a tangent again, is who is going in that second Aston Martin.
It's going to be Alonso and Stroll.
Are they going to actually get rid of Stroll, finally?
Unfortunately, I doubt it.
Well, as James Howells said over the weekend, one of his interviews, obviously, Williams are making science. They are doubling down on science. They want him.
Which is an interesting prospect, is that, I think. Science in the...
Science and Albon would be an interesting lineup, and it'd be very interesting overall.
Problem is...
But as you said about a lot of the contracts and drivers, a lot of teams within the next 4 weeks will probably be announcing all their drivers.
See, obviously Mercedes are too wrapped up in Kimi Antonelli. That's the problem. So signs to Mercedes is probably an out.
No,
signs to
the Willie.
Signs to a Red Bull is definitely out now because of Checo's extension. I could probably see signs going more Audi. And then maybe Bottas going back to Williams.
Well, that's it. Because there's still, obviously, I don't know how much of it's true that, obviously, Science is supposed to be joining Audi in 2026.
Hmm.
Now, obviously, as we know, Audi have officially taken over Sauber.
Not till 2025.
No, they've actually already officially taken over, but they're keeping the name for the season, and they can actually start racing under the Audi name as of 2025.
Yeah.
The deal's completed. All paperwork's been signed, but obviously, because the season started, they kept him as Sauber. So they officially will start running under Audi. So there is that side where sites can join Audi 2025. That way, they're ready.
There seems to be a lot of traction behind this Williams idea, though, doesn't there?
Yeah.
It's just me. I mean, I was listening to some F1 stuff today at work, and people in the know seem to be this Williams idea obviously has some basis, because the way people were talking, it wasn't just somebody's made it up. Now,
No, it come from James Vowles' mouth directly.
Yeah.
That they want science. They're doing everything they can to get science. But obviously, it's what can they offer him?
well, funny enough, this is, I mean, my source for this is Sky, and there's apparently a conversation with Science says money's not issue. He wants a medium to long term project. Now, the thing about Audi is it's unknown.
Yeah.
Williams have the Mercedes engine, which we know generally is good.
Mm-hmm.
James Vowles seems to be doing really well at sort of turning around what's been a poor performing team.
Oh, definitely.
So if you had both those options in front of you, I admit that Williams is the more tempting option,
Yeah.
because Williams have a provable success in the past. Whereas Audi, yes, outside of F1, very successful. Very successful. Nothing in Formula One, though.
No. I mean,
And you look back at the last time a brand new manufacturer, well, it won't be the last time. Last time I remember of like a works manufacturer coming in, apart from Merck, was Toyota. And we remember how their history went. They threw a blank checkbook at it for about 6 years and won nothing.
yeah.
So Audi coming in with all the money in the world is not going to guarantee success.
I mean, Williams have made a massive improvement. Obviously, they finished 7th last year in the constructors. When
Yeah.
previous years they've always been last.
And this year he's looking further forward again.
Yeah, I mean, okay, they're only 9th in constructors, but we're still quite early on. You know, so it's definitely one to keep an eye on.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But back to quality.
Back to qualifying, yeah, that's what we were talking about till we tangented. I
Obviously,
say Q1, like as you said, the only real surprise there was Perez, who just said he couldn't get the car hooked up. Then you move into Q2, where things got a little more interesting.
Apart from the fact
with
that,
a very rare
apart from the fact
double
that,
elimination for Ferrari.
yeah.
apart from the fact that Russell was on top in that Mercedes, was it?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Russell.
1:11, 1:11.
Well, Hamilton had a 1:11, but Hamilton had 1:11.9.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that Mercedes was quick around that track.
But yet again, you know, Danny Ricciardo beat. No, he didn't. Yuki beat him in that one. Yuki,
Not by much, but yeah.
but yeah,
I've only got the final qualifying. I've not got step by step.
I haven't got step by step. I'm looking between the two.
I've got this step. I've got all the official timings up. Q1, Q2, Q3.
Yeah, I've got the official.
Because Danny Rick did qualify ahead of Yuki. I think it's only about the first or second time this year he's done it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he qualified ahead of him in the last, but I mean in Q2 he didn't. Yuki qualified ahead of him. You know, I think, yeah, again, Oscar and Lando. Strong.
Yeah.
Not obviously kind of a little bit of, like I say, a little bit of a surprise. Sargent actually made it to Q2 and then, yeah, couldn't quite hook it up. As you say,
I mean, Albon just made it into Q3, like.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the big shock was the two Ferraris who I actually thought would have been up there with the likes of the McLarens and.
It's amazing. They went from Monaco and that absolutely amazing performance to that.
Yeah, which it seems kind of weird because you've got to look at that's the sort of the only reason that I think Yuki and Daniel Ricciardo actually managed to get through properly. If the Ferraris,
if they'd have got through, as it stands, I mean, Albon and Stroll wouldn't have made it, but I know what you're saying. How it would have reshuffled things.
Yeah, they were a little bit lucky that Ferraris just didn't have such a great.
Ferraris and Perez.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could argue that usually you'd expect those three to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you say the second they weren't, that throws open the door for somebody just below.
Well, that's it. Lance Stroll made it through to Q3.
Yeah.
Surprised. Alonso had a good qualifier.
Alonso's driving and probably some of the best form he's ever done at the moment, which is amazing to say. But
He doesn't have that car. The
that's it.
car's
Yeah,
not quite there compared to last year.
no.
But I suppose Alonso's. There's quite a few of the drivers, like, for example, Danny Rick, Alonso, Hamilton, Max, maybe Norris. Which seems weird that Leclerc and Sainz, because they sort of used to unfavourable conditions and.
You'd honestly think anything involving rain, you'd think the Brits would be leagues ahead of everybody, wouldn't
well,
you?
yeah.
You think if anybody was used to rain, the blooming British would be.
I think it was Brundle Crotty mentioned it. Brits are very good with wet weather races because we're used to it.
It's the same reason that Scandinavians are so good at rallying.
Yeah.
If you can manage in those conditions in real life, you can normally do pretty well.
And then obviously Q3.
What a lap.
Well, what a pair of laps.
Yeah.
To end up on the exact same time.
I mean,
but Norris wasn't that far behind.
Well, no, it wasn't. It said the top 10 is covered by, what are we on here? On 12. I mean, the top 10 is covered by 8/10.
Yeah.
Which is nothing, really.
like they say, when they were running around, and I saw Max obviously get pole, and I thought, oh, well, Max has got pole. And then Russell came out of nowhere, and it's like, oh no, Russell got pole, sorry, and then I saw Max.
Max equaled it, but the difference has always been if you said it first, it's yours.
Yeah. So Russell got it. But for them to both set the exact same time.
It's just amazing precision. You think, I know it happened once before where it was actually 3 set at the same time, wasn't it, many years ago?
Jacques Villeneuve, Michael Schumacher, and the third one was Villeneuve's teammate in the Williams at the time. Because Villeneuve then went on to win the race and the championship that year.
Yeah, so it'd be 97 then.
Yeah.
So that was the year he won the championship.
But I mean, yeah, fair play to George.
Fair play to you, Mr. Saturday as usual.
Oh, no. Okay. So I've just looked at the starting grid notes for the race. Ocon was penalised 5, not 3. He was penalised 5.
Okay.
Yeah, but it didn't affect him any. Wouldn't have affected him anyway because he started at the back anyway.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, he was penalised
I
5.
still think them kind of things should carry. If you didn't lose any places, it should be a 5-place good drop that carries on. But if
Yeah,
that was
'cause-
the case, I think Fernando would still be serving his from his McLaren days.
Probably.
because obviously Ocon qualified 18th anyway.
Yeah.
And then the two Saubers behind.
But
Just started from the.
But they
Pit lanes will
they
have settings.
because they modified the cars.
They basically went to a wet weather setup.
Yeah, they did.
As I think it was Bottas said, they've got a bigger wing on the back.
Yeah.
They've got bigger wings on the back.
So obviously we move into the race. I mean,
And yeah,
the start of
firstly,
the
you've
race.
got to give Haas credit for trying something.
Oh yeah.
So to clarify, the rest of the field were on enters by the two Hasses.
He went full wets.
But did you see how slow Russell got off the line?
They all
I thought
did.
they all got off the line. It was literally just a don't spin the wheels, don't risk it, just get it moving.
You know when they do the slow motion replay, that's how it
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, that's how it looked.
It just, yeah, it was a bit like, but Max seemed to get the slight edge on him.
Yeah.
But yeah, he just seemed to. I get you don't spin the wheels up, but it was just. It kind of looked like they were setting off for the formation lap again.
Yeah, but that's kind of what me and you didn't learn, Chris, when we used to both pirouette straight off the line one time in the wet.
Yeah.
That's what me and you failed to do.
But it was a bold move by Haas, and it did work to start off with.
To a point.
Oh, yeah, but K-Man was cutting up through the field. Like,
Well,
What
he
he
got
called
to
us.
fourth at one point.
5th one, eh?
yeah. No, they got up to fourth. It was like he could have ended up leading if he'd kept going the way he was going.
But the rain took longer than what they expected.
Yeah. So it burned. It started to burn his tyres up.
Well, it wasn't that. They were all hanging on because this second shower was meant to be coming. The trouble
Yeah.
is they were burning through the inters while they were waiting.
Mm.
You had Charles Leclerc who made the bold decision to try a set of hards, and it really didn't work.
No.
And yeah, I mean,
What did he end? He ended up basically a lap down, didn't he, after the pit stop?
probably wouldn't surprise me. The only person that actually got lapped in the entire race was Guan Yu Zhou.
But
Well, it was.
don't
well,
see how
just on the ones who retired.
that's himself.
Yeah, he got to unlap himself under that silly safety car rule that I still don't
But-
like.
But I think under the race results, it puts him still as one lap down.
He
I
was a
think he
lap.
got relapped again.
He did. He was the only car that got lapped. But it's just weird to see the fact that there were only 15 finished. I mean, oh look, no surprise, you obviously, Sargent, Jesus Christ, locked up aquaplaned, front nosed it into a barrier, but it was the tiniest of taps. I mean, he did, don't get me wrong, he did well to,
Yeah, that was his first attempt that he actually got away with.
yeah. Did he hit the wall of champs? No?
No, he eventually crashed out at turn 3, wasn't it? The chicane.
Oh, yeah.
He crashed out the chicane that quite often just caught us out over the years.
Yeah. And obviously, Leclerc, you said, was an engine. Because I had...
Well, at one point, they
I'd
gave
heard-
him it was the silliest radio message you ever give a driver. We have an engine problem, but keep pushing.
Yeah.
Why tell the driver? At that point, to me, I would just... If he says the car's slow, I'd have just gone, yeah, we're looking into it. To
Yeah, but-
tell him he's got an engine problem, he's then going to hear every little noise it makes and assume it's about to blow up.
The problem was, they should have just told him to keep going. But I think the reason why they just told him to keep pushing was because obviously they might have thought it was a sensor issue.
Basically, control out deleting it made it work again, didn't it?
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if one of you two was my driver and I was looking, I could see you had an engine problem. If the solution was at the moment we just keep going, I wouldn't tell you. I'd just, you come in and say my time seemed down. Yeah, we're looking into it, mate. We'll see what we can find. I wouldn't say to you, yeah, mate, your engine's screwed, but just keep going.
Yeah.
It just seems like the wrong message.
It was a bit of a bizarre message.
I mean, like I said, this race was almost back to good old Ferrari of 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We were just missing a bad strategy. Oh wait, we got it. It was the hard tyre.
And then obviously, as we know, Perez backed into a wall.
Yep.
Well, before that, I think it was before that they eventually retired Charles's car because the engine obviously wasn't getting any better.
Yeah.
Plus, I think he was so far behind. It was a case of let's not risk engine components.
Yeah. See, now I'm not seeing anything on the race result page about Perez being handed.
No, I think he was investigated after the race.
Yeah.
At the whole usual
And I saw it
stick.
this morning. But I'm saying, because I know, to admit, I kind of agree with it, because he was driving around shedding big parts of the car,
Yeah.
which is not what you want a driver to do.
No, you literally saw part of the rear wing literally at an angle flapping.
Yeah,
And as that gets on the racing line,
that's a guaranteed at least safety car, if not a red.
yeah.
So you can honestly tell why they come to, and the other thing is they come down hard on something like that to try and make sure nobody tries it again.
Sergio Perez has been hit with a 3-place grid penalty for the Spanish Grand Prix after he was judged to have driven back to the pits with a significantly damaged car in Montreal. Well, of course he was judged because it was shown on the feckin' feed. In what had been a nightmare Canadian Grand Prix for the Mexicans, Perez spun off on lap 53 of the race and damaged his rear wing before managing a limp back. However, after being summoned to the stewards following the race in Montreal, has now been hit with a penalty after it was determined he'd continue for the remainder of that lap with a significantly damaged car, lost several carbon fibre parts on the way back to the pits. Red Bull have also been fined €25,000 over the incident, with the team confirming in the post-race hearing that Perez had been advised to bring the car back to the pits as they were trying to avoid a safety car with his teammate.
Yeah, well, that's it. So the team
later.
a lap later, Carlos Sainz decides to go doing pirouettes, tags Alex Albon, and brings the safety car out anyway.
The stewards' full decision read, after making contact with the barriers in turn 6, the driver Perez continued on the track for the remainder of the lap with a significantly damaged car and therefore lost several carbon fibre parts. The team confirmed in the hearing that the driver had been... Yes. Well, despite security... no, that was just that. So, basically, the stewards determined, as well as a financial penalty for the team, a sporting penalty is necessary due to the safety implication of the incident.
Like I said, they do something strict to try and discourage other teams from doing something like that.
Yeah.
So,
But that brought out the second safety car. So the first one was, say, when Logan Sargent backed it into a wall, which I think that was very close to being a red flag because Canada isn't the best circuit for recovering a damaged car from.
No, and I think where he actually stopped, what there was, you can see it on the screen. There was a little entrance point there where they had a crane ready.
No, I honestly think they brought a telehandler down from the other side of the chicane. If you notice, it was a little telehandler that eventually picked the car up.
Yeah, but I think that was already parked up in one of the service roads.
So it was up. He had to come down the chicane. It was up behind. There's a runoff area just before the chicane, and it was from there. That's why it took a bit of time to orchestrate it, because he wanted the field bunched together, and he knew they had the time to move it.
I think there. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but there is actually, as you go at the end of that chicane, there is actually a service road that goes from the back of it, so they can actually bring this telehandler through that bit rather than actually on the track, and they can take it straight back up that way.
I'd have to go back and look in detail. I thought the only one they had was, like I say, was the runoff. I think me and you have ended up in the past.
but yeah, you know, you had that safety car, and it was like, oh my god, this is just becoming chaotic. But yet again, yes, but yet again, they had my said favourite person on, and she still fucking grated on me. She still grated on me.
But I think,
and the reason why she grated on me was because she used IndyCar terminology yet again.
Yeah.
Oh, she called it pit road as well. It was like, it's not pit road, you... Oh, fuck off.
Careful, on your blood pressure.
First safety car obviously triggered the first lot of pit stops, and obviously McLaren tried to do what they did last time. But the safety car, obviously, the way in which the track's designed,
unfortunately for Norris, he caught the safety car too early.
Yeah.
Safety car breeds safety car.
Oh yeah, that's no touring car saying, and it is very true.
Well, it was proven though, wasn't it? Christ.
Yeah,
Bloody I don't think Mylander got a break.
Well, he hasn't done a lot this season, so it was nice to see him get out there.
Was he not out with a medical car in practice? One of the practice sessions?
But I mean, in terms of races, the safety car's not had a lot of outings this year.
No.
I was watching it, I think that's the most retirements we've had all season.
Yeah.
Yes.
So far. We've had quite a lot of races where either nobody's retired or only one has. You know, we had, what was it, 4 or 5 by the end of that?
There's only 15 running.
5.
5 then?
Yeah.
But, you know, that is, say, by far the most we've had this year.
And both Ferraris out.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be fair, everyone was saying what a bad weekend Williams had, but he's got the same amount of points as Ferrari.
Yeah. Fuck all.
I reckon Williams could have got a point with Albon.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I don't blame Albon. I actually don't blame Sainz for that accident. That was just a spinning car.
Yeah.
Where do you go? He picked a side and he picked the wrong side. It's one of the great arts of motorsport is the ability to scatter. When a car's spinning like that, you don't know where it's going to grip. I was more worried because you watched, when it cut to the camera and you saw it, I'm more worried that Sainz was going to get the Ferrari stuck on the bloody grass.
Yeah.
Because he was sat there doing donuts on it at one point.
Yeah, no.
I'm thinking if that thing decides not to want to go and he's just stuck on there like a right muppet.
But that's the disadvantage of slick tyres on, well,
a drying circuit.
Well, no, slick tyres
I mean, we had
on
that great
wet
example
grass.
this race, didn't we, of how basically one line on the track dried.
You could see it.
You got to the point where the racing line was probably good enough for slicks, but if you would have to come offline to do anything,
Yeah,
you're in trouble.
and that was.
I mean, I was waiting for our road marker post of the DRS being enabled. Then right, everyone on the dries.
Yeah.
And that was, I think a lot of that was actually down to new service, where it was drying out quicker.
Yeah, the problem was they were saying they were still saying that the drainage wasn't great round there, anyways.
Never has been.
Well, it clearly wasn't. The inside of turn 2 had a whacking great puddle in it.
Yeah.
I mean, that got a couple out, including Max at one point.
Well, I did, like I said, I saw a picture of the safety car with the medical car sort of behind, and then the massive, great big vacuum suction truck thing during one of the practice sessions.
That practice 1. Because it was, I know practice 1 was delayed because of the rain.
Yeah.
And I think that something that didn't help him either is there was no support race. There was no support races,
Yeah,
so
nothing to help.
it wasn't there was nothing there to, like you say, clear the track, dry it out, rubber it, put some more rubber down and stuff like that.
Yeah, and
But
like I say, new surface, new curbs.
And
It wasn't warm. That's the other thing. Track dries faster when it's warm.
Yeah. I mean, I said to David off stream, George could have actually finished higher up, I reckon, but he cracked under pressure too much. It's not the first time we've seen him do it.
No, we all think back to Singapore or Australia this year.
Yeah, I think as soon as he's under pressure or in that pressure situation, he loses it. He can't cope.
well, the battle between him and Hamilton towards the end was a point-proven case. Hamilton got past him.
Well, wasn't just that, it was when he was fighting Piastri.
Yeah.
Piastri, he's fighting to get past Piastri to start off with. Then eventually he did get past, but he just, as soon as he gets under pressure or gets that pressure point, he loses it.
I know
a couple of times in the race.
Well, I know Toto had to come on the radio and say,
calm him down.
focus or something like that.
Yeah.
But overall,
over the cane, wasn't it? Before the back straight, he went over the thing and obviously lost time that way. Again, he was under pressure and he cracked.
But overall, it had to be one of the best. Canada's proven better than Monaco, that's for certain.
Oh yeah, it was a good race. It was an interesting race.
And best overtake was Albon.
Oh, well, no. That was one good overtake with one, if I don't overtake, I freaking thrash him. That little double split between the two Alpines.
Still best overtake.
So, who got driver of the day?
I honestly don't know. I never saw I don't think they ever actually showed like a thing through the race, did they? I never noticed it.
I never noticed it.
I believe it was Norris with 24%.
Fair enough. But
That seems to be a default option. I feel ourselves. Give it to Norris. Norris in real life is Lance Stroll in our series.
yeah. But I'm gonna move it.
But can I say one thing quickly? Before you move on to that. Radio called Piastri, where he said, if you got past Lando, would you be able to catch Max? And he turned around.
And I'm a bit busy right now.
Yeah, I'm fighting George. And I think that's fair. That's property. That's fair play to him, and that's a team player.
Yeah, definitely. I'm a bit busy here right now.
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, I'm gonna move this bit on to the bit I'm not looking forward to. I don't think David's going to be looking forward to it either, to be honest.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Obviously, as you guys know, we do the podcast presenters versus listeners. Yeah.
It's alright, it's actually improved. I looked at it this morning and they also had to update everything and it was worse.
Yeah, there was a slight delay due to some sort of technical issue with the track and finishing positions.
So,
But I did all right.
if I got royally screwed by Albon and Sainz and Williams,
Yeah, so literally one collision
screwed me.
did most of your team.
Yeah.
If only they could have taken either Piastri or Verstappen out in the process, you'd have been blown.
I'd have been buggered.
You might have done an Allen and got negative numbers.
Yeah. Well, you got
Last week,
zero.
Alan, I don't think I've ever seen a negative before. You got one at Monaco.
Yeah.
You got 0 for Yuki.
Yuki.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
no,
got-
but other than that, I actually had minus
Albon.
12 for Albon and minus 16 for Ferrari.
Yeah. So Ferrari did you, but Williams hurt me more on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, Ryan
Whereas
didn't.
Ryan
Ryan didn't do
he
too
lost
bad.
with
I mean,
Albon,
he
but
lost
the
with
rest of his wasn't
yeah.
bad.
I didn't do too bad.
And then
Alan, who bear in mind you still have 3 million quid to play with, mate. You've got
3.3.
you know what I mean? You've got options.
Yeah.
But he still got 0 for Yuki, of course. But it didn't hurt him.
No,
Nothing.
okay, enough positives.
Yeah, nothing seemed to.
But at the moment, Chris, you're close to losing second place, mate.
Yeah, shut up.
Yeah. I'm still not, but I've still got a reasonable lead. But yeah,
Ryan's
I mean, Ryan is 3 points
three
behind
points.
you.
Yeah, I know.
Alan's only 28.
Yeah, I know.
Another weekend like Canada, and they're both past you.
Yep. Me thinks
I'm
we
still a good 400 odd up the road.
yes, but me thinks we need to be having a look at my strategy for Spain. Ben?
We've
Well,
only got 1.7 million spare unless you take out a lot of drivers.
I know what I'd do. David's not got a lot. David's got less than me.
Yeah, I
to
know.
play
To be
with.
honest with you, I'm confident that was a rare blip.
Yeah.
I'm confident in the team generally. And that what we had this weekend, I mean, the chances of a double Ferrari retirement, unless they trip over each other, I don't think is that great at Spain.
No.
So, to be honest with you, I'm not planning to make any changes.
We'll wait and see, but
I don't actually think I really can.
you probably can't.
Well, I think I've literally got sort of the best people my money will. Even if I take Yuki out, I think Yuki is still the best I can afford with what I've got left.
Probably.
If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But anyways, before we finish, what's your overall thoughts on what was your overall thoughts on the race?
More wet races, please. I mean, if we have to start adding sprinklers to track, so be it, but more wet races, please.
For me, it wasn't as boring as what people would think it would be. It was an entertaining one. But again, it's Canada. Can I go one of two ways?
Thing is, my overall thoughts on that was Canada was a lot better than Monaco.
That wasn't difficult, to be fair.
No, but Canada usually produces some good racing, and Canada kind of didn't disappoint.
Yeah.
But then, yeah, so we'll be on to Spain next.
Yes.
Spain, yeah. We are actually ahead in our championship series, which is weird to me.
Yeah. But on the bad side of it, this is the last race at Catalonia, maybe for a little bit this year, because next year is Madrid street circuit.
Yep.
Hmm.
I think it's next year. Could be. I'm just going to quickly check the calendar for next year.
No, is it not?
No, sorry, 2026.
Barcelona.
2026 is Madrid.
Changes.
I thought it was 2025.
Yeah.
But, okay. But it's kind of weird because they're going to Spain first before then going to Canada. And then coming back across to Austria. It's, the schedule next year is a little bit weird. So, yeah, we're going to...
You got Alan, he kind of left you out of that one.
No, he gave his thoughts.
Yeah,
Didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did, sorry.
I was going to say, I thought Alan gave his thoughts before you. Oh, I don't know.
Obviously, yeah, sorry, my bad.
It's one of them podcasts. But...
We're trying to keep on topic and it's confusing us.
Yeah, it really is. But we're going to end this one here. So, obviously, thank you to everybody for listening. Obviously, thank you to Alan and David for joining.
Welcome.
It's a pleasure as always.
Obviously, if you haven't already, don't forget, you can go and check out the Game Time UK YouTube and the Twitch. Obviously, you'll find the link at the top. And we shall see you for the next one, which will be after Spain. So, until then.
Adios, amigos.
Goodbye for now.
Later, everybody.